My name is Rachel Mates, and this is the Echoes of History, Understanding the Holocaust. My purpose is to inform my audience about the Holocaust, but from a different angle, evidently showing how even when there was darkness in this tragic event, there was hope as well. At the same time, the anti-Semitism growing today from the Holocaust still is present today. The Holocaust serves as a somber reminder of the dire consequences of unbridled bias and official discrimination. Picture a time when persecution for being who they were resulted in millions of people being persecuted throughout Europe. This was the actual Holocaust. It is essential that we tackle this matter with the utmost sensitivity and respect for the millions of people whose lives were cut brutally short as we convene here to examine the Holocaust today. No conversation about the Holocaust would be complete without first talking about Adolf Hitler. Hitler killed millions of Jews and others. He was a German dictator. The most important thing to know about him in relation to my topic is how quickly and easily he was able to gain followers as a dictator. One would think that a discussion about anti-Semitism and the work of Adolf Hitler in the World War II that led to the Holocaust would be one that would stay in the past. The US government 5 years ago added a position called the Special Envoy on Anti-Semitism, which is where Professor Deborah Lipstadt comes in. Finally, there is an organization called the Anti-Defamation League that was created over 100 years ago because of the anti-Semitic environment occurring in the world, which battles anti-Semitism, reassuring people that there are organizations within the world to help break down all of this. In looking at Hitler's life, it is remarkable to see how quickly Hitler was able to develop and attract followers for his destructive ideas. Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party came to power in Germany in the 1930s. Hitler and the Nazis exploited these circumstances to gain popularity and eventually take control. Hitler's timeline ranges dramatically, starting from 1889 till his death in 1945. His worldview and later political ambitions inspired millions of followers with his destructive messages. His death marks the effective end of Nazi Germany and the conclusion of World War II in Europe, which is where he committed suicide. Hitler was able to convince German society and other European countries to join him in efforts to kill every Jew on European soil. These ideas did not die with him when he died. He strengthened his authority and destroyed democratic institutions. And today, because there are so many people who subscribe to Hitler's ideas, there is a need for there to be an official government body that fights anti-Semitism, including within the US. Currently, the head of the government body that fights anti-Semitism, a Holocaust professor, a strong Jewish identity, sued by British Holocaust deniers. She's someone who spent her life backwards, studying someone like Adolf Hitler. So much anti-Semitism in the world, still going on. Deborah Lipstadt. She provides practical advice on how to deal with those who reject the Holocaust. She emphasizes the significance of confronting skeptics and supporting data in several ways. As anti-Semitism has grown in use in recent years, there are positions that it is clear that her studies of Adolf Hitler and of the Holocaust in general help her to be a great teacher to help and understand anti-Semitism in the way it prolongs, recognizing the battle present day. Different eras of history have led us to battle things like anti-Semitism and prejudice in different ways over time. Look at how Anti-Defamation League battled anti-Semitism 100 years ago and battled it today. The ADL was established in 1913 with the goal of battling discrimination and anti-Semitism of Leo Frank's brutal execution. It grew support to greater civil rights in the 1920s, taking on the KKK and immigration concerns, which pushed for laws to address hate crimes. The key aspect of the ADL strategy has been its underlying commitment to activism and education. The ADL worked with other groups that supported justice and equality in order to help the civil rights movement. To this very day, the ADL has continued in forming alliances, organizations, and legislations, working on laws prohibiting hate crimes and battling civil rights. And finally, to summarize the overall message of this speech, the Holocaust, it is important to understand that anti-Semitism still exists today, which created more than a century ago groups like the Anti-Defamation League Act. Continuous efforts are a form of inspiration, and human beings can be forced with hate. There are 3 areas that we covered, which is Adolf Hitler, Deborah Lipstadt, and the Special Envoy for Anti-Semitism. the Anti-Defamation League, as a reminder that we need to work together to conquer hate, promoting civil rights, and fostering inclusive society within history. When Deborah Lipstadt first heard about the Holocaust denial, she laughed. She couldn't believe people would think things like that. What I have learned is that she started to realize that the Holocaust deniers and path to anti-Semitism were not just taking it as a joke. We needed to take it more seriously. Thank you.